There seems to be no end in sight to the tensions within the ANC-led tripartite alliance. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula has also described the SACP's intention to contest the upcoming municipal elections as a monumental disaster. And of course, in the last couple of days, we've spoken to the SACP. Yesterday it was to COSATU. Now, today, we're speaking to the ANC, and the spokesperson of the party, Mahlengi Bhengu, joins us now for this conversation. Mahlengi, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So, firstly, yesterday, we were in conversation with the spokesperson of COSATU, Zanele, and she was saying that as COSATU, they're quite concerned with what they see happen between the ANC and the SACP. They're calling for cool heads, saying that they even want to convene a meeting in order to be able to see if they can't broker peace here. Is that a possibility? Because they say that they're quite worried about what's going on.
Thank you, Bongiwe. I do think that it is important to acknowledge that this alliance isn't an alliance of convenience, and that is why it is important to come together. I don't think that there is a war or a battle between the SACP and the ANC. There is just one resolution of the Communist Party to contest elections on their own, alone, outside of the ANC-led alliance. And that is just that resolution that is a bone of contention. But the alliance continues to exist, continues to embark on a number of joint programs. And of course, we're also anticipating an alliance meeting that will discuss and debate these things further. As the Secretary General of the ANC has indicated, certainly the ANC position is that we frown upon this resolution and the implementation of this resolution because it will have the effect of fracturing the progressive forces as we go to the election and beyond the election, because there's a lot of work that we still need to do to ensure that our people enjoy all basic freedoms and also that we can achieve economic emancipation. Yeah. And so the idea of the party standing alone it does create problems from the perspective of a united front against what we continue to experience: poverty, inequality, unemployment in our country.
Well, it seems, though, that frowning upon the decision may not be enough, right? Because they're forging ahead with this. And one would say, even looking at what has been said in the public domain, you listen to the Secretary General of the ANC calling it a monumental disaster. The SACP comes out, on the other hand, saying that the ANC is also arrogant when it comes to some of the other matters here as well. So given what is currently happening, you are now having an SACP that's forging ahead, frowning upon or not. So what happens now? Because this is a reality.
Certainly, there is going to be a bilateral meeting, both with the party, to then work out the how, resolve the how question in relation to, for example, a duality of membership. Members of the party who are members of the ANC and the other way around. That's the one aspect that will be looked at. So the practical implementation of the resolution of the party on the ground, where we have our members that are also members of the Communist Party, where the party contests and where the ANC contests, there needs to be an agreement about how we are going to handle one another. And I think this is a moment that calls for cool heads. It calls for a sense of balance and measure. It also calls for all of us who are in the alliance, COSATU, the SANCO, to rally together to ensure that we protect this historic alliance, which is not an alliance of convenience, but is a principled alliance forged in struggle. But I can assure you, Bongiwe, that there is going to be one meeting that was called upon by the NEC of the ANC to then work out the modalities with the party around how they implement what they would have decided as to how they implement the decision, so that the ANC is also in the know about the modalities of implementing this decision, and we look at all the risks that are involved. It is not on the ANC to change the position of the party, because this is a position of their members adopted at a Congress. We disagree strongly with the decision, but at the same time, it must not serve to divide the alliance on a permanent basis. And the ANC has got an obligation to be more magnanimous about it, because we lead the alliance. And so we are going to be engaging in that spirit.
So when you look at, for example, this issue of duality, right, we've heard what the ANC Secretary General has said, but now you do have the SACP Solima Pailo says if the ANC takes its own decision to expel our members, it is their own baby. We can't tell them what to do, but we are committed to the alliance and to dual membership and to respect and of each other's, each component of the alliance and the roles that members are playing. One would say, when you look at what has been happening and what has been said by the two sides, yourselves as well as the SACP in the public domain, the unity can't be spoken of right now. The fractures have already happened. I suppose one would say it is how you begin to fix it, and if one would ask you, do you think you can?
It is not the first time that there have been a sort of fractures in the alliance, within the alliance. Remember the anti-privatization campaign that was led by COSATU somewhere around 2002? There have been a number of those, even when the unions will take government to court and protest against this or that unions would not be happy with. So this is not the first time in the alliance that there are discussions and disagreements about how to approach a matter, about the tactics. When I say that we remain united is because the fundamental principles that brought us together remain intact. There's no evidence that we've shifted from the principles. It's the tactical issues that we are discussing. And so we will continue with this discussion. I actually just think that as soon as the meetings have taken place, we will be in a position to communicate further to the people of South Africa, and particularly to members of the ANC, also who are members of the Communist Party, communicating to COSATU and the unions that are affiliated to COSATU, who themselves have taken particular positions. And it's noteworthy that the unions have stressed that we must maintain the ANC-led alliance and the ANC-led electoral process. Overwhelmingly, certainly I was at the National Union of Mine Workers Congress, where workers voted with their vote about restoring and reaffirming the ANC-led electoral process. Similarly, the General Secretary of the Communist Party is quoted as having said that they dare the ANC from expelling members of the party. We don't know where that comes from, because there is no such a conversation in the African National Congress, and it won't be a conversation anytime soon. And that is why I keep saying this conversation does require a sense of measure, because we can even exaggerate it if we are not looking at things as soberly as possible.
All right, let's see then what happens with that particular meeting. But quickly, before I let you go, the developments around Stan Mathabata. Yesterday, we heard from your second Deputy Secretary General saying that the letter has not reached them as the officials of the ANC. Has the letter by the former ANC chair of Limpopo, has it reached you, and what are you doing about it?
Yes, we did issue a statement earlier in the day, Bongiwe, now confirming receipt of the letter, because at the time when you were calling us as newsrooms, we had not received such a letter. We've just seen it on social media. But we have since received the letter. I can also confirm that the Secretary General is convening a meeting with Comrade Stan Mathabata, which will then, after which there will be a meeting with the provincial leadership of Limpopo to try and address this matter, and also to get to the bottom of it and to hear Comrade Stan about the issues he wishes to raise with the national officials. And of course, the SG is the engine of the organization, has got a responsibility to convene people and to take that process forward. And so we will be able to communicate further once those consultations have taken place and the national officials of the ANC have met and discussed it. But we are confident that as always, the ANC always emerges united, even during difficult moments.
All right, that was the ANC spokesperson. Mahlengi, thank you so much. Let's see then what the update will be on that matter.